Welcome back to Your Palm Beach Guide, the official podcast of the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce, where we bring you conversations with leaders, innovators, and changemakers shaping Palm Beach and beyond. I'm your host, Kiana Rivera, Chief Advancement Officer for the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce, and today I'm honored to welcome Charles Bender, founding CEO of Place of Hope. For more than 25 years, Charles has led one of the region's most impactful nonprofit organizations, helping transform the lives of children, youth, and families facing abuse, neglect, homelessness, human trafficking, and other challenges. What began as a vision in 1999 has grown into a nationally recognized organization serving tens of thousands of lives throughout Palm Beach County and beyond. Today, we'll discuss the mission behind Place of Hope, the realities facing vulnerable children and families, the role of faith and community in creating lasting change, and what it takes to build an organization dedicated to serving others for more than 2 decades. Charles, welcome to Your Palm Beach Guide. All right, Charles, thank you for being on Your Palm Beach Guide. Welcome.
Glad to be here. Thanks so much.
I'm so excited to just get to talk to you to really understand and unpack everything about Place of Hope. But for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about Place of Hope. And you are the founding CEO, correct?
I am. Yeah, there were a bunch of us that founded it, but I'm the founding paid guy, if you will.
I love
came
it.
in at the very beginning, and actually a few years before that to help our founders, Christ Fellowship Church,
Yes.
and their leadership at the time. To kind of unpack everything and get it moving in the right direction. And, most people know us as a child welfare organization, foster care and so forth, and that's how we got started
Right.
over 25 years ago now. We just finished out our first 25 years. We're launched into the next 25, literally this past May. But we started off, with abused kids in Palm Beach County that needed a place that was just really from a holistic perspective to care for them for as long as needed, which nobody really knows how long that's going to be. You hope to get kids out of the system fast. But we designed a model that would just take in large sibling groups and take kids and put them in one consistent environment until the state and the judiciary figures out how to get them home or out to an adoptive family. And then from there, we've basically grown based on needs that have presented themselves. And now we're the largest in this area by far. We're in multiple counties. We have some statewide programs with human trafficking survivors and so forth. Doing a lot of affordable transitional housing from Stewart to Boca and just kind of everything in between.
And not only that too, but I know that your team also helps train other organizations to take the lead in their own community, which is great to see. So you're kind of like the leader. You're the leader in this industry. There's no doubt about it.
I'm sure there's others, but when people hear of us, especially being a faith-based group,
Right.
we get a lot of folks that find out maybe through a church or a temple or so forth, and they hear about it. They could come take a visit, and they say, "Oh, we want to go do this back in Texas or New York." Or,
Right.
We've over the years we've helped literally from the beginning. We've helped groups identify what they might want to do by looking at all the different things in the menu of Place of Hope, if you will.
Right.
But what we warn people all the time is that a lot of this is a quasi or a function of the state, and so go back to your area, find out what the need is, and then let us know how we can help you, because you don't want to just
Go
put
in there.
a square peg into a round hole.
Right. In those early years when you were first starting out with Christ Fellowship and the team there, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced in the early years? Because it's shifted a little bit now.
Yeah, so it's interesting. There's all kinds of challenges,
Right.
But I can tell you that starting off, had we not had the anchor church, it would have been really close to impossible to launch what we launched.
Right.
And then so the flip side of that is one of the challenges we had is that so we needed to get out into the community to raise the funds to do what we do.
Right.
And it's not expensive to take care of other people's children. It's not inexpensive is what I meant to say.
That's true.
And so part of the challenges we faced early on was, well, this big church in town started you, and so you must be well taken care of financially. And not that they don't still take part in what we do, but they had told me from day one, hey, let's get this thing out into the community and self-sufficient. And so that was a bit of a challenge early on, but as we just kept moving forward, more and more people got behind us and decided, hey, we want to be a part of that. So.
I also want you to touch on what are some important things or misconceptions that people have about Place of Hope that just aren't true, or the fact that it is really expensive to take care of people's children. And you guys step in and provide that need, and not only just provide what they need, but also you surround them with a consistent support. And that changes a human.
Yeah, I think maybe people don't understand the system as a whole. One of the things I've always said as a whole about kids, you read this really egregious abuse or neglect story in the newspaper. It could be Miami Herald, or it could be right up here with the Palm Beach Post or whatever. And this thing happens to this child, and then it says, oh, well, and the foster care system stepped in. And I think people feel like, wow, that safety net stepped in and up for that child. Everything's fine, right? No, it's not, because the statistics show that a lot of kids in a systemically broken system don't do well. And that's nationally, not just here. So what they don't realize as a result is what you just described. And with a really good holistic program, these kids are resilient, and they can just do great things. I had a staff meeting this morning. One of our kids that grew up at Place of Hope just started last week as an employee, not even an intern, just for the summer, because she's going to leave and go up to FSU. But it was just so cool to have her in our meeting, and just looking across at her thinking, man, this girl is a full rock star. And she made it. And she also, obviously she did a lot of that on her own too. She was surrounded by good people, but she decided she wanted to be successful, and she's doing it.
Have you seen a lot of the challenges specifically within the system change over the past 2 decades, or has it maintained consistency just from what you've faced?
It's changed. We got started as a result of a young lady who was murdered by her stepdad up in Lake County, Florida, years ago. It's probably close to, I think it was like 98.
Wow.
And so it's not why we started, but we were getting started. And what happened at that time is it flooded the system throughout Florida with kids. The state kind of knee-jerk reacted to a remove all kids if it looks anything like it not okay. Well, they had to get that under control because it flooded the system with kids, and they got it too far under control at one point where kids were being abused in homes and they weren't being removed. And so it's this pendulum that swings. And so we've watched that happen over the years, where not a lot of kids come in and then a lot of kids come in. And when you're running, for lack of a better way of putting it, a business to take care of those kids, you if you have business principles in your nonprofit, you have to plan for that kind of stuff. And it's really hard to plan when you're not in control of the variables. So we see that change all the time. The other thing was, I would tell you that it was not a very friendly environment to faith-based groups when things first got started. And now it's a completely different story. They know we're a good partner, and they're a good partner to us, and we enjoy it.
No, good. But that took 25 years or so to build, like, those relationships. And that's where it's like, you can't forget just the hard work that you guys put in early on to get to where it wasn't a hostile environment to receive you and to receive the help. So I love that you guys
and
did
I was
that.
there for all that. So
I know.
It's kind of
and
interesting perspective.
Well, that's why that's why I really wanted to talk about that, because there's not a lot of businesses that still have that, like, founding partner involved in the business still. Like, maybe they're on the board or all of those things, which you still are, but you're in the day-to-day. Like, you're living it and breathing it with your team, and that's different. That's a different perspective. So I want you to share specifically just some of the programs that Place of Hope does to help break that cycle for when you receive those kids.
So, in some ways, we always say it's not rocket science. It's a faith-based family-style program. Now, primarily when we're talking about the kids that are under 18 in foster care, but also for those that come to us over 18. They may not have been with us under 18. They came to us over 18, and they're in our transitional housing. They may have come to us at any age into our maternity home for primarily pregnant teenagers. There's a lot of ways they could enter into being with us, but we try to make everything feel as though it's as organic a family environment as possible. Not to replace family, but just to give example to how things can be, and that helps to break cycles. You mentioned it a second ago about those kind of things that we do make the human. They make a stronger human, or however you put it. But the point is that I believe that when kids know that they truly matter, or young people know that they truly matter, sometimes they're seeing it for the first time. And that's not just me and my exec team. That's everybody. It's especially our foster parents. It's especially those that are running our programs, but it's those that come around them. And one of the things that young lady said in our staff meeting today is that she's so excited to see the sort of the infrastructure that runs Place of Hope now, because they were learning in the house that, hey, one of the reasons we get up in the morning and make our bed, and one of the reasons we have chores, is because there's people that invested in this place for you. Well, not a lot of charities do a good job of explaining that to the clients or the kids. Well, there's a degree of responsibility that rises up as a result of that. And we all want to show gratitude, don't we? I mean, and so it was really neat to see that come full circle. It's obviously impacted me this morning. I just mentioned it twice already. But just letting them know they matter, and then giving them a traditional family environment. What I mean by that is just making sure that they understand that they have expectations
Right.
in their day-to-day lives as well, to live in a milieu, in a family, and to be a greater part of society.
Well, and an accountability
Yeah.
partner almost as well,
For sure.
because I think, at the end of the day, whether you're in foster care or you're not, all of us grow up to join the community and to be, join the workforce, all of
Yep.
those things.
Exactly.
And it's all full circle, as you said. So I love that you mentioned that.
We have a lot of donors and families involved with us that are not dealing with the foster care system. That say,
Right.
"Can you take my kids for a couple years and
You're like, straighten them out, please. Help me. So I love that. Can you touch on a little bit just on the business community? Because it's more than just funding. It's more than just funding, and it's more than just providing the programs, that help these kids. But how does the business community come in and circle around you to provide that support?
Yeah, every way. I mean, one of the reasons we've grown at the rate we've been able to grow is because the community as a whole has gotten behind it, and we've found that it happens more organically than anything else. It's a friend who's totally in sync with what we do and supporting however they do it, whether it's financially or volunteering. They're telling their friends, and then their friends come, and so we have just been really blessed by that. The business community as a whole. Whether that's a foundation or it's a corporation. I have a CEO leadership council that's just stacked with phenomenal business leaders in this community. We have a planned giving council. It's the same thing. There's leaders, but specific to the financial industry and trusts, estates, et cetera. And so we just really kind of bring people in and just ask them to hang their hat however they want to or can. Our outreach program, we serve thousands a year with material support. That's mainly through drives in the community. It could be a church, a temple, a business, big, small, whatever.
Right.
And all that product comes into us, and we put it in our warehouses and bring it right back out to bless people. So everybody has a way they can help.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. That people don't think, wow, how can I help kids in foster care? Well, we know how.
Yeah,
There's a
we'll
way.
find a place for
Yeah.
you. Absolutely. I want to talk about just you personally a little bit. Because you've been you founded Place of Hope alongside other partners and everything. Have you seen your leadership style change from when you first started out till now?
Yeah, it's had to. I mean, I'm super grateful because in my core team has been with me a lot of years. So we have a CEO COO model, and my COO has been with me 23 years.
Wow.
Probably over 23 at this point. And she's phenomenal. I call her the octopus of the organization. She's got her hands in everything, but that allows me to use my gifts in a better way. So obviously I have to know everything that's going on, and she keeps me aware, but she's also managing it. And so thankfully I've had that for a very long time. But what I'm real conservative financially, and so even though we've grown, I've been that guy that's tried to get everybody to do 100 different things.
Yeah.
And I've realized over the years, you're eventually just going to kill people at some point. And so I've had to learn that. It's been a stretch for me to understand that, you can't, some people work at a very high level and not everybody does. And so the need for more people and layers of the organization as we've gotten bigger. So I'm over here kind of like visionary, push and get bigger, do all these great things. And then over here, the infrastructure didn't always change at the same rate. So that's something I've really had to learn over the years.
And how have you been able to manage burnout on your own? Because you're not only leading a business, but you're also hearing the very real life stories of people coming into foster care that can be very emotionally draining.
Yeah, I'll say that again I'm not at the level like my clinical director and her team are.
Right.
That's a different level. I am aware. I do see the cases. I read them. I think honestly, this is a spiritual calling for me. So I was called to Place of Hope by God, and he just gives the energy and the strength, and so the more human part of that would be just knowing that we can provide is awesome. So we have such great stories like that young lady. That's number 3.
I
bringing
love
her up
it.
third time, but I mean, it just like her and others that work for us now. They've come full circle. Seeing one of them got married this weekend. Just knowing that we can touch their lives, not all of them, but we can get in there and make a difference and actually create a model for other people to replicate as well. That's enough for me.
No, that's so good. I love that you say that. So let's talk about the future for Place of Hope as we're all like, time is flying. It's crazy. I'm looking at the time like, holy cow. What are some of the greatest needs that you're seeing right now for our community?
So one of the reasons we started our outreach program is called Shade Tree Family Outreach is because there's a lot of relative and non-relative caregivers. There are family members taking care of kids. There can even outside of the the formal side of the child welfare system. There's a lot of people just that have need. But so a grandma steps up and takes her 3 grandchildren overnight. Doesn't mean she has the resources to do it, but she doesn't want to say no. She wants to say yes. And so we literally launched these outreach programs regionally with warehouses because people have great need. They're going to do something great. They're going to take these kids in, but they don't have diapers and they don't have wipes and clothing and shoes and car seats and all those things, cribs. And so that's an area of need that it just continues to grow. And then we're able to just help a lot of people, and it's really efficient and really effective.
Right.
So that's one of those areas.
And when you talk about businesses and I want to pause really quick. You talk about that grandma who takes in her 3 kids or 3 grandkids. How does she hear about you? Through the grapevine?
Most of the time, it's through the networking of child welfare, Department of Children and Families, and or partners.
Okay, got it. That makes sense. And then she is then able to get in contact with you to get that support.
Yeah,
absolutely. I love it.
And same for housing. Like our next biggest thing is we're expanding housing like crazy.
Yes, I see on social media.
It's an issue. I mean, affordable housing. Now, it's not just affordable for anybody. It's a program, and so it's transitional affordable housing. But these kids are exiting foster care with nowhere to go, and now we're living in this area where it costs what it costs.
Oh,
so
right.
It's a program to get them on their feet more toward a living wage.
Right.
But we're doing a lot of it right now.
I see it on social media, so it's great to see. If every person listening today could do one thing to make a difference for Place of Hope, what would it be?
Oh, well, you could pray for us.
Yeah. Prayer is powerful. People forget, but prayer is our biggest armor for.
Absolutely. So that would be the number one. Obviously, we're a charity, so financial makes a difference. But that could be at any level, which is what we love about these community drives. So if someone's listening, they have a big, small, medium-sized business, and they say, hey, I want to take the month of July and I want to do a diaper drive for Place of Hope or a formula or whatever it might be that, clothing and shoes. That's a way that businesses can get involved, include their team, their customers, and have a big impact, but it's not going to be on one person's back. Everybody can do something, and it might just be one pack of diapers. It might be one small pair of shoes for a kid, but we know they're going to get on that kid's feet at some point that needed them. So,
can you touch a little bit just on the reality of being a foster parent?
It's tough,
yeah.
But let me tell you, it's very rewarding. I would say you have to do it in the right environment. You have to find the place that matches up with your values and how you want to go about fostering, because there's all kinds of rumors that people are in it for the money, they're in it for this. No, it's tough. It's volunteerism is what it is.
Right.
The little bit of money that you get as a licensed foster parent does not cover what it really takes. So I'd say you need to be with a good agency that can help license you with the state, and then take care along with you. And so the level of foster care we do, it's super tough work, and it's a high level therapeutically for the children that come to us. But we also come around our foster parents and give them a lot of supports. I'm still not saying that's an easy gig. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But it's got to be done right, and there is a way to go about it. But yeah, it's tough work, but it's also super rewarding at the back end.
No, that's so good. I love it. I've always had a special place in my heart for Place of Hope, so this makes me happy. So as we close, before we go to rapid fire, I wanna just close with this. As you look back on more than 25 years of service and leadership, what gives you the greatest hope for the future of our community?
God's promises.
Yeah.
We're doing exactly what we're called to do in Old Testament, New Testament, Psalms, and Proverbs. It's not rocket science. We just need to help those that genuinely need help. And there's a lot of people, we live in a really affluent community, as you know.
Yeah, we do.
Chambers on the island.
Yeah.
But people don't recognize what goes on just in little corners of all over this county,
Right.
all over, Martin and St. Lucie, and even in Broward as well. There's just a lot of need, and it's not that people aren't trying. It's just hard to make it. And, just knowing that we can be there to support and help them, I think I already forgot what your question was.
No, but it's true. Well, and so the future of Place of Hope, where do you see it in the next 25? You said you just celebrated, 25 years in May. What does it look like for the next 25?
Yeah, I've learned to not say never any longer, because we get these opportunities, fall before us. But we just closed on some more land down in West Palm that's adjacent to our campus. We're going through the process of getting development rights there. We're looking at some things up in Martin County right now. And mainly it's where can we have a big impact in strong partnerships to just leverage, each other's strengths. So we've launched some statewide things, anti-human trafficking efforts
Right.
that we're partnering with other groups to do it. We're in the middle right now of working with the statewide fund that's going to put some big busts together for human trafficking rings that are
Great.
going on. There's a couple coming up right now. We're just a part of those. We don't have to do it all by ourselves. But the future's bright for sure. But I think what we're doing now is we're looking at, okay, we're in a major campaign right now as well. And so we're looking at that campaign will take care of our current footprint. And so we want to get that executed and then, just be really strong in our current footprint.
I love that. And exciting things to come.
yes.
So rapid fire as we close.
All right.
Coffee or tea in the morning? What's your go-to order?
Coffee.
Coffee for sure. Okay. Your favorite hidden gem in Palm Beach?
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll say, is restaurant. I'll go with restaurant.
Okay.
Salute Palm Beach.
So good.
We love it.
So good. What is one book that changed your life?
Bible.
Ah, every single person today has said that,
It's
except
the
for one.
truth for me,
I just
yeah.
was like, God, that makes me so happy. And
But I also like Rick
Yeah.
Warren's original
Okay.
book, A Purpose-Driven Life, because
I
I
love
like
it.
I like the first opening statement in the entire book in chapter 1 is that it's not about you. And I think if we can remember that, especially in leadership, that's a great book to, even if you just read the opening statement.
just read that one. I love it. And lastly, what is one piece of advice that you would give your younger self as you navigate the workplace?
Talk less, listen more.
I love it. That's so good.
I've definitely stepped on my tongue a few times.
Haven't we all, honestly? Haven't we all? Well, Charles, thank you for being on your Palm Beach
This
Guide.
is great. Thank you so much. We appreciate the chamber.